First card, we got Ricochet Shot. 1 mana arcane spell. Deal 1 damage to 3 random enemies. Different enemies.
Quest Hunter's still a deck, right?
Quest Hunter is still a deck. Can be anyway.
What card got nerfed for Quest Hunter? Why doesn't he play anymore? The Quest, okay.
Yeah, I think the Quest is it 3/3 and 2 or is it 3/2/2?
Not sure. Yeah.
Let me check. I think it's 3/3 and 2, but
okay.
I will get my facts straight.
Oh, 3/2/2. It used to be 2/2/2. Okay, yeah, 3/2/2. That's a certain teabag thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay, then yeah, this card's real good then. So I mean, in the context of just Quest Hunter, it's really good.
But Quest Hunters probably will suck because but it could make a comeback. But I mean, I'm not going to say this card's really good just because I run it in a Quest deck based on doing damage with spells. I mean, does this see play in a non-Quest Hunter deck? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, so Hunter did get that whole arcane spell damage thing, where you can give your spells, arcane spells, spell damage. You could run this with Talented Arcanist or the new 3-mana Arcanist that gives +2 spell damage. This can be quite good at killing stuff.
I'm going to give it a 2 because he played Quest Hunter. But that's the only reason. I don't think it's that good.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm kind of on a 2 as well. I think it might fit in a couple different decks. But I don't think it's going to be an all-star in any of them. It's just playing a fringe support role.
Yeah.
But it can go face, so that's good. Next up, Arcane Quiver. 2-mana arcane spell. Discover a spell from your deck. If it's arcane, give it spell damage +1. So it's Thrive in the Shadows with a slight benefit for arcane spells.
In a Hunter class that needs tempo, historically, I'm going to play a 2-mana, get a card, but I get 1+. This seems garbage.
Well, it can be good for Quest Hunter. It can be good for the Arcane Hunter. There are going to be some arcane spells.
This is good for Quest Hunter? Don't they want to like get cards out of their hands so they can go the Howl?
Well, when you're completing your quest, you can either find more damage to get there, or if you've already completed, it's a spell that refreshes your hero power that gets another spell.
I'm not a believer. I'm going to give it a 1.
I'm on a 2 for it. I think Thrive will probably have the potential to find a way. But I don't think, again, it's going to be outstanding. It's still Thrive.
Okay.
Next up, we got Conjured Arrow, 2-mana arcane spell. Deal 2 damage to a minion.
Ooh.
Mana Thirst 6. Draw that many cards.
That's really good.
That is quite good, isn't it?
Because, you know, I can use it if I'm desperate just as a 2-mana deal 2, which is whatever, not great. But, like, just if you get this mana 6, it's like when you want to reload, deal 2, draw 2 is already insane. And you get, if any of the arcane synergy is worth it, you know, if I just play this with Blood Mage Thalnos, like, now I did deal 3, draw 3, which is insane.
Or Talented Arcanist for deal 4 mana.
Yeah, that's so good. Oh, God, this is so, is this a 4? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm caught between a 3 and a 4 for this. The only thing that's holding me back from a 4 is that Mana Thirst 6 is a lot.
Yeah, but yeah, so Hunter runs out of cards so easily, so card draw is like extra valuable. And this is efficient too, and it's like you could use it earlier on. So I'll give it a 4. It is
absolutely nutty in Quest Hunter. Or if you're like completing your quest and you get another damage spell plus 2 more speed. I'll go for a 3, but it's clearly, this is a good card for a lot of different decks.
Yeah.
It's one of the best for sure. Next up, we got Scourge Tamer. 2-mana 2/2 undead, Battlecry, craft a custom Zombeast, where you get to discover from 2 beasts that cost 5 or less, and you combine their stats, mana cost, and text boxes.
After playing Deathstalker Rexar in 2022, I feel like this card's just not good enough. Zombies aren't going to be good enough.
Does not look very good. It looks so slow. And really, even Rexar wasn't very good at the time it came out until it got Rush and Lifesteal.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think Scourge Tamer makes the cut, does it?
This could be a 2/3 and probably doesn't see the cut. I mean, yeah, it's just like it's understated too, you know. So it's
why is it understated? That's a very good question.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, it's like getting you an 8-mana card sometimes, usually, right? Like So, or you can take a really bad 3-mana card, you know. So, yeah, I'll give it a 1.
1 seems appropriate. Next up, Shock Spitter. 2-mana 2/2 beast, battlecry, deal 1 damage. Improved by your hero attacks this game. So your hero attacks once, this deals 2. Hero attacks twice, this deals 3, etc.
That could be insane, right? Like if you have, it's hard. Hunter doesn't have that many like usable weapons, but like, imagine if is Candle Shot in the core set?
It is.
So I could have Candle Shot, and then I could just be in like multiple weapons. So I get this up to like 8 damage, and I go brand this then twice, and I kill him.
And there are other ways to get copies of this. You have Selective Breeder, the 2-mana 1/3 discovers copy of Beast in your deck. You can use this and then use Devouring Swarm, so it bumps into a minion, sends it back.
Oh yeah.
Shock Spitters. You got Warsong Wrangler that draws a beast in your deck, gives all copies of it +2/+1 for 4. I'm giving this thing a 4. I think this could make an entire new deck.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4 too. That seems really good. Like I feel like you could just run this in a deck with like 4 weapons and just as a powerful tempo card. Like you don't need to build around it, you know?
You don't. I was looking at 2 Candle Shots, maybe 2 Heart Seekers, I think they're called, or Blood Seekers. The 2-mana 2/2 honorable kill, get an extra durability and attack, I think. And that's sometimes you also get weapons off of Wild Seeds.
Okay.
I think Shock Spitter can make an entire new deck, and it's also just a good card. So I'm really into it.
Yeah, it seems pretty good.
Very powerful stuff. Next up, we got Silvermoon Farstrider. 2-mana 2/3 battlecry. Give all arcane spells in your hand. Spell damage +1.
I mean, if you're running some arcane, it's hard. These kind of things are like
they are hard to assess, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is like unless Hunter is insane, these kind of give everything in your hand stuff. You need like big hands. So not only if I'm running this card, I'm running minions. But like, how many arcane spells do I have in my hand? I feel like
there's one arcane spell in particular you really want to hit, which is the 4-mana one.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, we'll see it in a second, but it summons 4/4 Rush Beast. That's an arcane spell that's improved by spell damage.
Okay.
That's one you really want to hit. The Ricochet Shot is okay to hit, certainly. The Card Draw Arrow, the Conjured Arrow.
Card Draw Arrow seems really good. Yeah. I'll give this a 2. I want to give this a 1, but like if this arcane deck exists, it probably makes the cut, right? So
yeah, I think I'm on a 2 for it as well. It might be good enough, but it could also just be a 2/3 with a very, very small benefit. Bunch of time. But it can also have a massive benefit. Depends on which spells it hits.
Yeah. Well, this is the opposite. This is all arcane spells in your deck.
So Alderon Brightwing, 3-mana 3/4 battlecry. All arcane spells in deck get spell damage +1/+1.
I feel like this is better than our last card, but I still don't want to give it a 3. So I don't know. It's like, yeah. I mean, giving everything in your deck it has to be so. But
I'm going to go the opposite way. I've actually been thinking about it a little bit, and I could be totally off base. But I think giving arcane spells in your deck spell damage +1 is worse than giving arcane spells in your hand 1. Because Hunter isn't drawing a ton usually.
Yeah. So unless you have like this insanely good draw deck, but you do have that one card, but that's one card, you know?
Yeah, you have to rip it right off the top. I would rather have a better chance of it being in my hand and buffing it. I think this is actually a 1. I think you might actually cut this.
I'm going to be a coward and just give it 2 because I don't understand this archetype yet. So,
yeah, I don't love the idea of buffing my deck. I'd rather buff my hand. I'd rather go for fast over slow in Hunter. But next up, we got Keen Eye Spotter, 3-mana 3/4. Whenever your hero attacks a minion, set its health to 1.
Well, that's good with Candle Shot.
Great with Candle Shot.
Do I run this in my weapon? My weapon deck? Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I mean, this is obviously like a Candle Shot love card.
I feel like I'm being a coward if I don't give this a 1, but
yeah, I think you're. I mean, so Hunter's Mark saw play for Candle Shot.
It did.
At 2 mana.
Some
And Hunter, I'm gonna give it 2. So it's if I'm running candle shots, this card's probably. I mean, the problem is like you can't use this with minions, so that's what's annoying. So it's not, but so good with candle shot, it's ridiculous. Like I plop this down on a board that doesn't have a rush minion, that like a 4/4, and you just keep wrecking their board over and over again with your candle shot. So
it really is a candle shot card.
Yeah,
and it's only a candle shot card. That's what makes me kind of want to give it a 1.
Yeah, I mean you could use it with a 3-attack weapon and waste 2 damage. So, but
yeah,
it's not.
I'll give it a 1. I'll stick to my guns.
All right,
I can see it, but I don't like it.
Okay.
Too specific. Next up, this is the big boy. Eversong Portal. 4 mana arcane spell. Summon 1 4/4 Lynx with Rush, improved by spell damage.
Wait, this is the big boy?
This is the big boy.
Do you get 2 Lynxes?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was thinking to be like a 5/5 spell of Lynx. Oh, okay. So if you get like 4 spell damage on this bad boy, you so you could do it like Talented Arcanist and get 3.
Yeah, Talented Arcanist gets you 3 Lynxes. That's real good. Your arcane spell buff, whether it's a quiver or the 2-drop, would get this the 2 4/4 Lynxes.
That's a combo to get a board on a box usually. I just think all these cards are bad. Like compare this to, like Beast Hunter effects currently, where I can cheat out for 5 mana with just playing the weapon and hitting a 5/6. Now these have rush, but like Hunter isn't the control rush class. It's the rush is nice, but it's like I don't know. I guess you can play this against like maybe this would be good against like aggro druid if you could get there, but
it just goes into a different deck. That's all. Yeah. It goes into this type of spell damage deck in a way that Sunken Saber wouldn't really be able to do. I think Eversong Portal is a good card. The payoff is definitely there. I don't know. I'm really weird on this.
There's so much setup. Like so much setup for a tempo class. Like and if I'm playing a control class, like if I'm playing it as control, I guess I can kill off a boon with that 3/4 and my weapon, but like I don't know, like
am I just building towards a shock spitter and then using cards like the arcane spells to keep the board from killing me until that point?
Maybe.
That might be where I'm at.
Oh, so you can so you don't have to run many minions, so you can tutor. I see what I'm saying. You can tutor reliably. I'm gonna go with my heart and give this a 1. I just think this is I just don't think this makes the cut.
I'll go for a 3 on it.
If I do a setup and I get 2 4/4 with rush, it's good enough. But like you always have to have a setup, and if it's just 4 for anytime you don't get the buff on, it's just terrible. So, and if I'm tempoing a Blood Mage Thalnos or a spell damage, like they're gonna clear that off. There's like a weapon that gives you. I don't think there's a weapon that gives you spell damage. So yeah.
Right. Next up, last card for Hunter, Hope of Quel'Thalas. 6 mana 4/2 legendary weapon. After your hero attacks, give your minions +1/+1 wherever they are. That is hand, deck, or battlefield.
Yeah. This is interesting. It's this is so hard to evaluate because it's like these effects are so slow and like for Hunter. But like if I'm the world I imagine is like that token beast hunter, like the small beast hunter where you hunter. Yeah, and then you have like a bunch of 1/1s and you play this and on board and then you buff up your hand as well, but it is 6 mana.
It's like a third copy of Shadehound kind of.
Yeah. I have a hard time figuring out if this is good or not.
I have a very hard time figuring out if this is good or not.
Yeah.
My gut says that if you're a very aggressive face hunter, this is too slow for you. If you're a big beast hunter, you're not really playing enough minions to make this buff super worth it. So then it's a really good card for Rat Hunter. The problem is then you're playing Rat Hunter.
Yeah.
And does the
Well,
third
also, you have the
make
1 mana
Rat
card,
Hunter enough?
like where you have to play this card over that sometimes, or get your stuff killed, right? So
Yeah, this can also be reasonably unplayable with wild seeds. Because if you
yeah.
have a stag that's dormant and
Oh,
sitting on the board, that can really
yeah,
make it difficult to get Quel'Thalas into play here.
yeah. This is pro.
What do you call a great card in a bad deck? I don't... A 2?
I mean, well, it's these cards that like you need perfect setup to get the payoff. Because it's just like so much setup. I'm gonna give this a 1. So I could like it's so hard to make the deck that this is good in.
Yeah, I think it's just Rat Hunter. I just don't know if Rat
Yeah.
Hunter got any improvements beyond this, and I don't know if that's good
Yeah,
enough.
I mean the world where you have a bunch of rush, like just Hunter has like get these hand buff stuff as well. Like one if you're just playing 1 minion per turn, but like this is good when you can buff 7 cards and play them all. But Hunter has card draw issues, so it's not like easy to have all this card draw. Like kind of hunters play one big clunky thing these days per turn. Though, yeah.
All
So I
right.
render. I probably run that 2 mana draw 2 card, just in Beast Hunter now because it's like just dealing 2 damage and drawing 2. It's
Oh
probably
yeah, that card.
it's just useful late game and yeah.
Turn 6 forward, that thing is nuts. That card's
But
great.
yeah, I think I'm gonna give this a 1. So
All right. Next up, that moves
wait,
us into Mage.
let me go grab some more coffee real quick. I'll
Yeah,
be
sure.
right back.
All right. I'll hit the bathroom. Ready.
All right, I'm
Let's see,
back.
how are we looking so far? Yep, me too. All right. So, starting off with Mage, we got Arcane Bolt. 1 mana arcane spell, deal 2 damage. Mana Thirst 8, deal 3 damage instead.
That is a big mana thirst for
We do have OTKs in Mage now, starting around turn 8, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, I as an individual card, this card seems whatever, but like Mage finds like weird, synergies. So these cards see played Mage all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's 1 mana, so it's probably a 2 or 3. I don't know
Yeah,
which.
I'm kind of in there too. I'm gonna give it a 2 just because, as its own independent card, it's not really that good.
Yeah, but yeah. So
All right,
all right,
mark it down for
okay.
a 2 as
I'll
well.
give it a 2 as well. So
Next up, then we got Arcane Worm, which is a 1 mana 1/2. Battlecry, add an Arcane Bolt to your hand. This card's way different.
this card's okay. Like I don't know. You could run this in like big spell mage because it's a minion.
You can run it in any type of combo deck.
Yeah,
With the Arcane Bolts, you can run it in Spooky Mage if you want.
yeah, you could. So
These 1 mana 1/2s that just give you a playable spell, these are always awesome.
this, yeah, historically been good. All right, I'll give this a 3. So
Yeah, I'm up for a 4 on this even.
I don't know. I feel like some of these 1/2s haven't been good enough lately in Hearthstone 2022. So I'm not convinced it's a 4. So yeah.
I think this goes in every Mage deck. Period. Okay. Next up, we got Magister's Apprentice. 2 mana 3/2. Your arcane spells cost 1 less.
All right. Now I gotta look at all the arcane spells real quick. So
It's Sorcerer's Apprentice only for arcane.
I mean that like Sorcerer's Apprentice wasn't this like in Wild, it's obviously busted where because there's so many like established sort of ideas, but like it was a hard card to like. It wasn't, you have to play this and play a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I'm sure people will say it's good because they just love all mana cheating, but I'm not convinced. Like, you have to just hold this in your. You can't. This is awkward to like tempo out or use on turn 4. It's like seems like an OTK combo piece, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah, and I think we don't actually need it for that OTK. I think Quest Mage actually OTKs better with fewer cards. I'm very, very, very close to giving this card a 1, which I know is absolutely bizarre.
Yeah, and then it turns out that arcade it's the deck is you look but I mean
I don't even need this for the OTK. But if I run you through some arcane spells, this is what we got in standard for Mage. Arcane Defenders in this set, 8 mana spell. Arcane Bolts, Polymorph Jellyfish, Gifts of Ajara, Arcane Brilliance, Mass Polymorph, Siphon Mana, Arcane Overflow, Ruined Orb, Counterspell, Arcane Intellect, Shooting Star. Of that list, I think the deck that would play this runs about
a lot of low value stuff, right? So how do you get all this card draw? Yeah, you don't have Mana Cyclone, so you don't have like the way it worked back in the day is you did this short just well, I'll be more fun to give it a 1. I'll give it a 1 with you. So
all right, yeah, let's go for it. I think it's a 1
wrong,
right now.
I could. This is one of those like someone finds the broken thing and you look like an idiot because you're like, oh, this. But or I bet somebody makes a deck with this. They say it's broken, and then it turns out to be a 46% win rate deck. That's my prediction. Yeah. So, but it'll look like people will get mad. There'll be a highlight clip. People will be like, oh, Magister's Apprentice. No Hands and J. Alexander thought it wasn't good. Clearly, they're this, and then it's a 46% win rate. So that's my prediction.
Just a high skill deck.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So okay. All right.
Next up, Prismatic Elemental. 2 mana, 1/3 Elemental. Battlecry. Discover a spell from any class. It costs 1 less.
Discover a spell from any class. It costs 1 less. That seems okay. Like you just
yeah.
It's like I mean, do I run this over Watch Post in Big Spell? Because that's like the only like I'm running this in my arena decks that need filler.
Yeah, this is a weird. It's fine, but it's not better than fine.
You get the 1 mana discount matters.
The 1 mana discount kind of makes this, in a way, 1 mana, 1/2 discover a spell from any class.
I'll give it a 2, because I could see it seeing play. So
I could see it seeing a little bit of play too. It's just not amazing. It's just fine.
Yeah, deck that needs so okay.
Next up, Arc Splitter. 3 mana, 3/2 Death Rattle. Add 2 Arcane Bolts to your hand.
That's kind of annoying. That's a lot of Arcane Bolts.
That is a lot of Arcane Bolts. To make your OTKs a lot better.
Yeah.
Just for future reference, if you have 2 spell damage and you have the legendary for Mage in play, which we'll see later, your Arcane Bolts are going to be Pyroblasts on 8 mana. Use that knowledge.
Sorry.
If you have 2 spell damage and 8 mana for Mana Thirst, with the Mage Legendary, your Arcane Bolts are Pyroblasts. They're 1 mana Pyroblasts. That's the general setup.
Let me see the Mage Legendary.
5 mana Mage Legendary. Your arcane spells cast twice.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Wait,
Arc Splitter, even on its own, is kind of fine. 2 Arcane Bolts from that, that's a good rate.
No, but it deals 3 instead, right? So it's not.
Yep.
It's 6 damage. Oh, with 2 spell damage as well.
Yeah, with 2 spell damage.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because the spell damage gets doubled, so it'll be +4 spell damage because they cast twice.
Wait, there's a card.
The spell damage gets doubled because the spell casts twice. So 2 spell damage on your Arcane Bolts when they cast twice becomes 4 spell damage.
Okay.
3 damage on Arcane Bolts.
Where do we get the 2 spell damage?
either from Guild Trader or from the Mage
Oh
Quest
yeah,
reward.
Guild Trader. Guild Trader is a great card. Still around.
Mage Quest reward seems better for that, but
Okay.
they both work.
Okay.
But even in its own little context, Arc Splitter is fine.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, yeah, I give this a 3. So
Yeah, 3
Seems
seems
good.
very appropriate to me. Looks good.
okay.
Next up, Vast Wisdom. 3 mana. Discover 2 spells that cost 3 or less. Swap their cost. Mage got kind of a.
I want to spend three mana to discover 2 cards, and because I
You
can
still
swap
have
a
to
3.
spend mana on.
This seems utterly terrible.
It
Like,
doesn't even seem like it goes in the deck the legendary is made for. Even when you
Yeah.
have the payoff for making other spells, I still don't want to play this.
Yeah, I'll give it a 1.
Oh yeah, fat one. Terrible card.
All right.
Next up, Energy Shaper. 4 mana 3/5 Battlecry. Transform all spells in your hand into ones that cost 2 more, but they keep their original mana cost. So it's kind of like a Hand of Lunacy effect.
Transform
Not
all
Deck of
spells
Lunacy,
in your
Hand of
hand
Lunacy.
into ones that cost 2 more. So
So you have a 3-cost spell in your
okay.
hand. It transforms to a random 5, but it costs 3.
Yeah, so you could do this like get reliable spells, right? So if you have like let me look at current
Can you?
mage. Well, so
You transform into spells of any class for the record.
oh, any class. Oh, I
Any
did not
class, just
realize
random
that.
ass spells.
Oh, I have no idea if this is good now. I was just gonna do this to make more runes with the Archmage, you know.
Let's see, what do we got for 9? 9-cost spells. We have Scourge, Sunwell, Frontlines, and Rune. Do we have any 7-cost spells?
Frontlines is so bad. Wait, was
You can
yeah.
transform your Mass Polymorphs and Flame Strikes into Rune of the Archmage, Scourge, Frontlines, or Sunwell.
Yeah. I mean, this is
If
like
they were
Deck
your
of the
hand.
Lunacy, though, right? And that saw play.
Well, it's all play when you dropped it on 2.
Yeah, but people play saw put it for 4 mana. So it's kind of similar, right? Like that's the body, but like only your hand.
Mm-hmm. I'm giving it a 1.
Yeah,
I think
it
it's
probably
bad.
sucks. All right, I'll give it a 1 as well. So
I feel like these effects don't work out very regularly.
I mean, part of the reason Deck of the Lunacy worked as well is because you had 2 broken 10 mana cards, and you had
And
1
Canter's
broken
Flow.
9 mana spell. What? Yeah,
And
and
Canter's
Canter's
Flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Next up, Vexilus. 5 mana, 3/5, legendary elemental. Your arcane spells cast twice.
So you run this to kill your opponents, right? With the
Yep,
your
that's the idea.
with all
This
your
is like
mana bolts.
Mazaki, basically.
Yeah, so it's probably good enough. I mean, I'll give it a 3. I'm not convinced it's gonna break the game, but its effect just seems good.
I'll go for a 4 on this. I think Quest Mage is back
Okay.
because of this.
I hope not. It's if it's just I mean we'll see.
I think around turn 8 you can probably pretty reliably 30 to 40 damage somebody with this.
Okay.
So that's good.
You have to draw this card though to get that. So
yeah.
Okay.
You got Multicaster. You got Refreshing Springwater, Arcane Intellect. Quest gets cards from your deck. It'll be all right.
All right.
Next up, Arcane Defenders. 8 mana arcane spell. Summon 2/5/6 golems with taunt and can't be targeted by spells or hero powers.
These cards you just can't spend 8 mana putting taunts in the way, even with can't be targeted in 2022. Someone's gonna find a way to get through them. They're gonna do Sylvanas and steal it. Like I give this a 1. I just think
Same here. This is a card you generate. It's not a card you play.
Okay.
That's basically it. It's a jackpot buff. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, that would
Next
be good
up.
with
Oh yeah.
that would be good. Would you play it every turn? Okay, yeah, that's interesting, yeah.
Next up, we got Grand Magister Ramath. 9 mana, 5/7 legendary Battlecry. Recast each spell you've cast this game that didn't start in your deck.
Like the to do so much.
Less than 3.
So
it's a very expensive test.
yeah, I'm gonna give this a 1. So
Same. And
yeah,
it doesn't even target opponents with stuff. So like if you play
you
your
can't do it
Arcane
with
Worm,
minions as well. Like there's not gonna like the getting these cards seem a lot harder than for tests. You know.
you can get a bunch of cheap stuff, Second Flame, Arcane Worm spells, whatever. But then they can also shoot your own minions or your own face.
If it's not like, oh, they target opponents' minions if possible or something like that.
Yep.
And 9 mana, yeah, like 9 mana.
9 mana. I think this card could be 7, and it probably wouldn't be very good.
Yeah.
All right. Sad Mage Legendary. Next up, moving on to Paladin, Feast and Famine. 1 mana spell, give your hero +3 attack this turn, Mana Thirst 4, and Lifesteal.
Paladin can't run these cards. It just these cards suck for Paladin. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Jailer Paladin can run these cards. Anything like that? Any slower?
But they don't have enough value. They don't have. Paladin has such terrible card draw. It can't afford to run some deal 3, but you have to face tank things. You know.
Deal 3, heal 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 1. I just think Paladin can't do these cards. Paladin always has terrible card draw, and it's not even like I'd rather just have a smite, you know, that I can reliably just use on a minion through a taunt. You know, just can't go face, but like Paladin doesn't win with burn, so.
I like the 3 because it kind of reminds me of Rockbiter Weapon in a weird sort of way. It's good early game removal.
But Rockbiter Weapon you could also use on your minions, and the end was mainly played for Doomhammer, so that's like.
I'm still not 100% sure how this card works with Cariel's Battlecry. That if you give your hero Lifesteal and then play Cariel...
that would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not positive how that works. It might work, it might not work. But I like Feast or Famine. In a slower, I think, Dragon, Kazakhstan, Renathal Paladin deck.
Alright, I think it's just these...
You think it's crap?
I've played Paladin more, I mean, a lot. Like, it's... You just run out of stuff way too often. You know, you need greed. Because it's just like the card, you know, you can't afford to play 4 1-mana cards the way you can in like a rogue, because you don't have, like, there's just no value generation. So
that's got to feel bad.
Yeah, so.
Next up, Flight of the Bronze. 1 mana spell, discover a dragon. Mana Thirst 7, summon a 5/5 Drake with Taunt.
Well, that's insane, right? Like.
Certainly can be.
I mean, you have to get to mana 7, but like a 1 mana 5/5 with Taunt with Discover, I can run this to just discover like Kazakhstan's. I don't know, like if the Sire ever gets nerfed. I mean the Mana Thirst effect is so slow, but like so good.
Yeah, 1 mana for a 5/5 with Taunt is nothing to fuck with. And Paladin can make it to turn 7.
Yeah.
And it is good Kazakhstan food.
Yeah. I'll give this a 3.
Yeah, 3 is exactly where I was at too on this.
Okay.
Dragon Paladin actually has a real chance this time, which is nice. Next up, Sanguine Soldier. 1 mana 2/1 Divine Shield. Battlecry. Deal 2 damage to your hero.
Is this card really good? This card might be really good.
Oh yeah.
It's like insane tempo. It's like Flame Imp, right?
Yep.
Flame Imp still sees
like
play.
A Flame Imp. Like a
Divine
1 mana mini bot.
So annoying. Like, yeah. Alright, I'll give this a 3.
I'm going 4. I'm going 4 on this. I think this part just goes in every Paladin deck.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's hard to make aggro Paladin in the current game, but like if you had Hand of a Doll still in the game, you play this on 1 hand and 2, and you value trade their minion, you win the game. You know, so
we got some similar stuff for like that coming up.
Yeah.
Next up. We got Blood Matriarch Liadrin. 2 mana 3/2 legendary. After you summon a minion with less attack than this, give it Divine Shield and Rush.
Ooh. Summoned as well. It's just like Parade Leader, but like kind of better.
This is a hell of a Bloodfen Raptor.
Yeah.
This is a real good Bloodfen Raptor. The one complication I've run into with this card is that a lot of Paladin stuff that you're going to play that is like lower curve, because you do want to play this with obviously cheaper stuff.
Yeah.
A bunch of it already has Divine Shield, which is kind of awkward.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I mean,
but you can just weave this
and
into a turn.
it's a legendary, so it's like it's hard to like build around this card. So you have to
No, you don't build around it. You just put it in a deck it's already good in.
Yeah, so it's hard to make aggro paladin work right like now in like Renthal world, but
I got some aggro paladins. I got some lined up. I like Leandrin. I think she's a solid 3.
I'll give her a 3. I mean, the card's in the right archetype that it doesn't exist yet, and maybe it will exist. It seems strong. Like you could play this and you run Ram Commander and you throw. I mean, I guess those have rush. I don't know. But
You'll figure it out.
Yeah. So
play it with Sinful Sous Chef. You have your 2 Divine Shield.
Oh yeah, that's pretty
Paladin,
good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
2 dudes. That's good.
Okay.
All right. Next up, for Quel'Thalas. 2 mana Holy Spell. Give a friendly minion +3 attack, and give your hero +2 attack this turn.
It's like, I don't know. That might be really good. Is that good? You can like give a minion.
Yeah.
Then you can hit something. It's a lot more value than the 1 mana card.
Yeah, we got a couple notable synergies with this. We have new egg. So we have Nerubian egg and now we have Foul egg.
I do love eggs.
This is a holy spell, so it works with the legendary Qatari Lightblade, which is kind of neat. And it is tutorable with the Stonehearth Vindicator, a 3 mana 3/1 that draws a spell that costs 3 or less and makes it cost 0 this turn. It's real efficient on damage.
But like you need health and like damage on turn 2 doesn't matter, and it's like, so I don't know.
Well, it matters when you go turn 1, play a 2/1 with Divine Shield. Turn 2, make it into a 5/1 with Divine Shield.
For some reason, I saw give your hero attack this turn. I thought the friendly minions attack was just.
Oh no, friendly minion attack is permanent.
Oh, okay, that's a lot better. Okay, all right, okay. 2 or 3, I'm not sure.
I'm going with a 3 personally.
I'm gonna give it 2 because still low cost cards, but I'm not fully convinced. But yeah, okay.
Next up, Seal of Blood. 3 mana, holy spell. Give a minion +3/+3 and Divine Shield. Deal 3 damage to your hero.
That seems really good.
Yeah, everything I just said. Also, this card. Stonehearth Vindicator hitting this is
really
nuts.
good, right? Like I mean, Blessing of Kings has seen fringe play in decks that are desperate for buffs, but like this is that, and 3 mana cards are so much better than 4 mana cards. They're so much easier to play. So
you
like
can hypothetically coin a Stonehearth Vindicator on 2 and get a 6/4 Divine Shield.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give 3 or 4.
I'm on 4, I think.
I'll give it a 4. It looks real good.
This card is so cool. It's so cool. I love this theme for Paladin.
So Divine Shield is good. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, so good. Next up, we got Daring Drake. 4 mana 4/4 dragon with Rush. Battle Cry if you're holding a dragon. Gain +1/+1. 4 mana 5/5.
I get +1/+1 as my big payoff. Oh God, for a 4. I always say
it's a militia commander that doesn't lose its attack.
I always say 4 mana cards need to be busted, and this is garbage. I'm giving a 1. So.
Well, on the one hand, I agree with you. It's not a good enough card on its own at all. On the other hand, Kazakhstan is a real card.
I don't run this in Kazakhstan. I run the new 1 mana card, and I don't run this like. If you're holding a dragon, if you're holding a card, gain +1/+1, I still wouldn't run this card. You know, like 4 mana cards just have to be so busted.
Sure, I understand you.
Yeah.
You just need a density of dragons, and I think this is a good enough dragon.
I'd rather run the 3 mana dragon or amalgams, like just as discover them. Too. Yeah. So
you'll go full dragon.
Full dragon. Okay.
Next up, speaking of, we got Time Warden. 4 mana 3/5 dragon. Battle Cry. Until the end of your next turn, dragons you summon gain Taunt and Divine Shield.
Ooh.
So this is summon and not play. So this does work with our 1 mana Discover spell.
Uh-huh.
And this also works real well with the 5 mana 3/5 that if you're holding a dragon summons 2/1/1 whelps with rush. So if you go Time Warden and then turn 5, you have another dragon.
Oh, they
you
get so it's like a that's kind of good.
2/1s Divine Shield Taunt Rush.
That's kind of good. All right, I mean, the 4 mana. This is what I'm talking about. A 4 mana card needs to be OP to see play, so I'll give it 3.
Yeah, I can be signed up for a 3 on this as well.
I mean, yeah, if this Dragon Paladin archetype works, yeah.
It is a bit slow because turn 4 you have to play at 3/5.
Does this come in with Taunted Divine Shield? Does anyone know?
No,
son of a gun. All right.
Yeah, this requires some setup, but it's actually no. I'm kind of going to downgrade it to a 2.
Yeah.
This is another. It's a good enough dragon that you play for your Kazakhstan deck. That's all.
I mean, I feel this is what makes this the real good is doing the giving your taunts to. Yeah, I don't know. Oh God, you're convincing me it's a 2 now. Yeah,
that's fine.
All right, I'm gonna go down to 2. Yeah,
it's a good enough dragon for a Kazakhstan deck. That's about all you say about it. You're not splashing this ever. You need a ton of dragons.
I mean,
because Blood Crusader. Yeah, don't think about it too much.
Okay.
Yeah, Blood Crusader, 6 mana 5/5. Battlecry. Your next minion, Paladin minion this turn costs health instead of mana.
Well, these cards always see play. I feel like.
Yeah.
You play this.
Some good things you can drop with this. You got your. Colossal.
We could just wait on a Jailer as a neutral deck. It's like,
well, this does have to be Paladin minion.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I was like, what 10 mana cards can I cheat out and win the game? But
you can cheat out Countess with this on the same turn, and then next turn play all your invitations.
Oh,
you can cheat out your Colossal Templar Captain.
Oh, yeah.
8/8 that summons a 5/5 with Taunt after it attacks with Rush. Like that's.
And Paladin can take the life damage, so I'm gonna give this a 3.
Yeah, 3 sounds appropriate to me.
Okay.
I think it's a good card. Next up, we got Anachronos, 7 mana 8/8 dragon. Battlecry, send all other minions 2 turns into the future.
Does anyone know how this is dormant, the minions, or does it like they come off the board and then they come back in 2 turns?
It's like dormant, but they're off the board. So they come off of the board in 2 turns. They come back on.
So if there's not space, they don't come back, kind of thing.
Correct.
Okay. Correct. Interesting.
It's like a dormanty Gigafin combination of.
Yeah, it is kind of like Gigafin. I mean, that's really annoying if you like plop it like down. So you could play this, then after 2 turns you go quality city tax, and then And these cards are really annoying.
And this card, it's not tied to any specific payoff. You can just jam this in a Jailer Paladin if you want to buy yourself time.
Yeah. Maybe it is good. Yeah, these kind of cards are flashy, but so I'm always skeptical, but it might be really I mean, 7 mana cards are hard, but it's like you plop this down and it's an 8/8 on board, and now your opponent has to deal with an 8/8 as well, so you can like use this to swing and just win in 2 turns or something like that as well. You could do this in a Sire non-Jailer Paladin, and then you play your Sire next turn.
And it's also a dragon for Kazakhstan, which is great.
I mean, I'm skeptical. Sire has to get nerfed really hard for Kazakhstan to be playable again. But I don't know.
Though technically speaking, you could also play both if you want.
Yeah, I mean, good.
I'm giving this thing a 3. I think
I'll give it a 3. Yeah, I'm just skeptical on the Kazakhstan lifestyle.
Understandably so.
Everyone, if you made it all the way to the end, chances are you really like this content, so thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. If you want to show your support of the live content, feel free to like and subscribe. Liking and subscribing always helps the algorithm to show that you like it, so the thing is more likely to give it to other people. In addition to that, if you are always wanting a NohandsGamer video, but some days I don't put one out because I don't know what to do, we have another channel, which is the NohandsGamer VODs, which is the raw, unedited content from my Twitch, where you get to see everything on the YouTube format. I highly recommend you go check that out, so you can get your NohandsGamer fix every day, even when I don't put out a normal YouTube video. Hope to see you guys in the next video.